This is carrying on from the last video that unfortunately cut out. We were talking about the excommunication, and we were talking about how after the interdict, King John's punishment became worse.
Now, the reason for this was because the Pope wanted John to give in to his authority. However, John wasn't going to do this easily. Now, we need to understand whether the excommunication was good or bad for John. So if you're going to do a little bit of revision, do a positive and negatives table in your book or on paper, and we'll look at these 6 statements. So even though the church encouraged barons to turn on John, they didn't. Now hopefully we can work out why. John had the power to take people's land off them. So barons had the choice, livelihood or religion. And most of them were going to be livelihood. John could still confiscate land if feudal service was not completed. So if you're not sure what feudal service means, in England we had the feudal system. So we had the king, we had the barons, also known as the tenants in chief. We had the knights and we had the peasants. Now, to get land, you had to do a job. You would become a vassal. Now, if you did not do your job, you would have your land forfeited, which basically means taken off you. So John could still do that. So even though the Pope put him as excommunicated him, he still didn't. John still had the power to rule his kingdom. John gained income from about 11 bishoprics and abbacies, meaning that John became richer because of the excommunication, because lots of people did actually decide to turn on John and basically forfeit their vassalage. John made plenty of money from bishops and abbots who left. He made £13,500 a year from bishoprics and abbacies. Many barons were angry at John as he basically made them choose between religion or land. And if an invasion happened, the Pope could support the invasion as he wants everywhere to be controlled by a Christian. This excommunication meant that England was no longer in the control of a Christian person. Now what you need to do is go through and just write positive or negative. As an expansion of this, explain why. And then finish the following sentences. The excommunication of John was a success or failure for the Pope. This is because. However, John still had some serious problems because of the excommunication, the biggest one being. So that's the excommunication, and to be honest, I think a lot of people have said that John really didn't negatively get impacted by this. The biggest impact that John faced was the threat of an invasion. So barons did stay on John's side. If they turn on him, then they will lose their land. John made a lot of money, but in 1213, England was at the threat of an invasion. This could be seen as a crusade, and the thing is, if someone invaded England, the Pope would support the invader. So John had to make up with Pope Innocent quickly. So why did the Pope and John reconcile, make up? So at first the excommunication didn't have the desired effect. John didn't submit to Innocent, and John actually became richer because he made income off 7 bishoprics and 17 abbacies. In fact, it's claimed that John made £13,500 a year from confiscated church property. But his enemies began to gather on the continent and threaten England. Now England was being threatened by an invasion, and the Pope would have supported this because it was classed as a crusade, because England was not being ruled by a Christian. So John had to make up with the Pope pretty sharpish. So in early 1213, John sent envoys to agree terms with Innocent. And Innocent agreed to lift both punishments if John agreed to the following. Firstly, Langton becomes the Archbishop of Canterbury. Secondly, anyone who left England during the time of the interdict and excommunication could come back and have their land back. Thirdly, John pays the Pope £27,000 in compensation. And lastly, if John broke any of these agreements, he would lose his right to ever appoint church officials ever again. And John also agreed and surrendered England and Ireland to the Pope. So now John was now the vassal of the Pope. He also promised to pay the Pope £675 a year as his vassal. Now, even though some people might think that's a really daft move, John becoming the vassal of the Pope is perfect for him, because if anyone tries to invade John, if anyone tries to turn against John, then John has the support of the Pope. And the Pope is the overarching authority in society. So there you have it. You've got the cause, the events, the consequences, and the reconciliation. The only thing you could probably get in a question here, you could probably use this in a question about why the barons turned on John, because this excommunication put them in a bad position. You could also get a question saying, explain why the interdict or the excommunication was so serious for the people of England. Or you could get an explain question on why King John was a failure as a king. So all of these reasons here are really good pieces of evidence to use, because religion was the overarching importance in England at the time.